What's good, YouTube? This is the Only Big Green Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, back with another deck profile. And this deck profile was the GOAT deck that I was telling you that I was inventing. And it took a while, and I finally got the deck done. Finally got all the cards in person, which is very nice. And this week has been like a really good week for me. God's blessed me, especially since it's Easter week, which is really nice. But I've had a very blessed week because I've got this deck. God's helped me get this deck done this week. And then also the Edison decks. I actually got all 3 Edison decks done on Saturday. So I'm very blessed this week, and I'm in a good mood. And I've been looking at the comment section, and I thank you guys for all the support you've been giving me here lately. And I know it's funny to thank you guys for 11 subscribers when guys like PewDiePie have like 61 million subscribers, but I can't thank you guys enough that I'm now in like double-digit subscribers, and hopefully here soon maybe I can get to 100 or 1,000 subscribers, but that might be stretching it a bit. Anyways, let's get right into this deck profile. You play 3 Hadez, because he's the main monster of the deck. You got to play 3. The deck is probably going to be called Fiend Control or Hadez Control. I don't know what the name's going to be yet, but it's probably going to be one of those two. But with Hadez, he virtually makes all your Fiend-type monster a walking skill drain. Whenever a Fiend-type monster would destroy an opponent's monster by battle, the opponent's monster does not get the effect. So if you kill something like a Sangan, your opponent doesn't get Sangan Search. DD Warrior Lady, they don't get the banish off of DD Warrior Lady, flip effects, and then like Sinister Serpent, etc. But probably the best monster in the deck that's tributable. Next up, we have the best Fiend-type monster that isn't Hadez, Slate Warrior. He's your only flip effect monster you run in the entire deck. And he's really fun to like bait out like things with it. The good thing about him is you can just summon him and pass because he's a 19k beat stick. As long as your opponent's not playing Beast Down, your opponent can't really get over him on turn 1 unless if they waste like a card, like something like a Snatch Steal or something. It's really the only way they can get over him turn 1 though if they're not playing Beast Down. And a cool thing with him, you do play 2 Tsukiyomis in this deck, so you can just summon Tsukiyomi, book, flip, and then he becomes a 24k beat stick, so you can kill Jinzo and kill Air Knights, which is nice. You play 3 Archfiend Soldier. Again, he's a Fiend type, and he's a 19k beat stick. The good thing I like about him, the 15 booty, you can just set him, and if your opponent knocks, they just wasted a knock because he's a normal monster. So your opponent doesn't get anything off of that knock. And the other good thing is you can set him and then bait your opponent out for an Exarion, and they'll minus the 4, and then they're going to be taking 100 damage. Then once it becomes your turn, you can switch this guy into attack and kill their Exarion, which is another reason why I like this card. And the last Fiend monster, other than the next one, you play 1 Opticlops. He was at 3, but he became a bricky card, so I cut him down to 1, and he's working really well at 1. I'm probably going to keep him at 1. Again, 18k beater, Kamikaze with things like the Exarion, or bait out Nox and Exarions. Another good thing is I normally use him as a graceful charity target because he gets a Fiend in the grave, and well, you'll see why I say that. Next card, Dark Necrofear. You normally want to ditch this guy with card effects. Like if your opponent duos you want to get this card out of your hand. Or if you use a Graceful Charity, you want to get this card out of your hand. Because with Dark Necrofear, you play 1 because it is a bit bricky. But if it's late game, you can win just off of this card's effect. It can't be normal summon or set. It must be special summon first by banishing 3 Fiend type monsters. And as you can see, the deck does run a hefty Fiend type card pool. And its other effects is it's virtually a skill drain on legs. Whenever it's destroyed by an opponent's monster by battle, you can take that monster and equip this card, which is real nice. But this is to pretty much just get around BLS and stuff in the late game. Also, I guess 28 booty, but if you special summon this thing in defense, the opponent's not even going to attack into it anyway, so there's really no point in that. On to the non-Fiend type monsters, you run 1 Breaker. He's a staple in GOAT. He's pretty much an MST. Like I do in all my GOAT decks, you play a small Warrior Engine because if you face Beast Down, it's a very hard matchup. So these help you get over things like Bazoo and Berserk Gorillas. Or if you're facing Chaos Control, which can be another like pesty deck that this deck has to face up against, you can get rid of stuff like BLS and Chaos Sorcerers with. Play a little Water Engine. Again, this is like standard in most GOAT decks. The tribe for declaring things, like if you're facing the Chaos Control, declare Spellcaster, or if you're placing like Zoo Beat or Beast Down, just declare Beast. 2 Exarion, this was at 3, but I had to cut it down. Cause at 3, it was really good. It's just I had to put more cards in this deck to help me stall out longer. So he unfortunately did have to go down to 3. But if you guys build this deck, he does work out at 3. The last monster, probably the best non-fiend type monster, Tsukiyomi. This card is an MVP. With the games that I have played up against Zoo Beat and Beast Down, this card will absolutely let you take control of the game. So this is a must play at 2. Do not play this deck if you're not playing 2. You have to play 2 in this deck. And you might think, why run Tsukiyomi when you only have 1 flip effect monster? But this card is mainly for taking control and looping this guy, and it's looping things in your extra deck. It's really, really good. If this card, I wish it was at 3. I believe it was only at 2 in GO format. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if it is at 3, I might cut it up to 3. But to my knowledge, it's only at 2. Next up into the spells, we got the Trinity, a staple in almost every GOAT deck. Duo, pick 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. Pot of Greed, draw 2. Graceful Charity, a draw 3, discard 2. Some more staple GOAT cards. You play the 1 MST, destroy a spell or trap, Heavy Storm, destroy all spell and traps, Preem, pay 800, pretty much Monster Reborn a monster, and then Snatch Steal, take control of opponent's monster, and they gain 1,000 life. On to something pretty cool. Play a little GOAT engine. I was not playing the GOAT engine, but this deck was losing a lot. And ever since that I put the GOAT engine in here, the deck has been winning a lot. So this really helps the deck's consistency out and really helps them grind out some long-paced games with like the 1,000 eyes in the extra deck, which is real nice. So definitely run the GOAT engine. I tried this deck without the GOAT engine and it didn't run well. On to some little tech choices of mine. 2 Brain Control, pretty much just for taking control and tributing for Hadez. And then 2 Kaiser Coliseum. This card blown my mind. When I saw this, I was looking through my collection for cool ideas, and I saw this card, and I was like, holy crap, this card working with Hadez is just absolutely nuts, because your opponent can only control 1 monster when you only have the 1 Hadez, and whenever you're killing the monster, they don't even get their effect. So I definitely love this card in this deck. You guys I would recommend at least playing 1, because it does work well. I had it at 3, and I cut it down to 2, and it's working just fine at 2. Next up, you only play 4 traps. I'll show you what the next trap is here in a minute, because it goes along with the lockdown of Kaiser. You play the Mirror Force for self-explanatory reasons, TT for self-explanatory reasons, and Ring for self-explanatory reasons. And then 1 Royal Decree. You don't run a Jinzo in here, but like my main combo is I like to have this set up with Kaiser and then Dark Ruler Hadez. Every time that I've pulled this off, I've 100% won the game. So if you can pull this off, just expect a victory, because it's just way too hard to out in this format. Now on to the extra deck. Since it's GOAT, you can have like the biggest extra deck you want. My extra deck right now is currently 40 cards, and I'm building on it every day. But the main things you want to play is 1,000 Eyes, Flame Ghost is what I like. I like the Dark Fire Dragon, the 5s, the Reaper, Dark Bolter, and Fiend Skull. That's what I like for my 5s. And then Dark Blade for my 6s, and then Ryu for the 6 is what I like to go with. Where's the 7s at? For the 7s, I like Gaia, because it's the highest attack point 7 that I believe in this format. But if you want to go for the dark typing, a Labyrinth Tank. And then for your 8s, Dark Paladin, because this card's just nuts. If you're facing something like, Pac-Man. If somebody's actually playing Pac-Man, you pretty much just win the game if you make this up against Pac-Man. And then you play a Master of Oz and a Beast Skull Dragon. Them are the ones that I would recommend you guys to use. Anyways, guys, if you liked the video, I guess like it. If you didn't like the video, dislike the video. If you don't like my channel, unsubscribe. This has been the Only Big Green Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Johnny, and I'm signing out. I'll see you guys.